Welcome back, all you rockers and metalheads. This is Metal Rocker 86, and I'm reviewing another album. This time, I will be reviewing Metallica's self-titled album, or as it's commonly called by fans, the Black Album. Metallica is an American heavy metal band that started out in Los Angeles but has been mostly based out of San Francisco. Their genres include heavy metal, thrash metal, hard rock, and speed metal. They have released 10 studio albums to date, the Black Album being one of them. On to the album. The Black Album is Metallica's 5th studio album, and it was released on August 12th of 1991. This album contains 12 songs, and altogether is about 62.5 minutes long. It took them 8 months to record this album, as they had just hired a new producer named Bob Rock, and he really didn't see eye to eye with band members all the time. In 2012, the RIAA had certified this album 16 times as a platinum, and it has sold 16 million copies in the US alone. Rolling Stone also ranks it 235th on the greatest albums of all time. On vocals, rhythm guitar, and acoustic guitar is James Hetfield. On lead guitar is Kirk Hammett. On bass guitar is Jason Newsted, and on drums and percussions is Lars Ulrich. Now on to the songs, all of which were written by James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich. The album starts off with a song called Enter Sandman. It was also released as a single, and Kirk Hammett also helped write it. Instrumentation. This one has some killer guitar riffs that are very aggressive, and they set a creepy mood for the song. The drums come in at around the 15-second mark, and you can hear them in the background. The theme of this song is nightmares and things that'll haunt you at night. Originally, this song was going to be much darker, as it was going to be about a baby dying in the middle of the night. The lyrics, Off to Never Neverland, and just to clarify, this Never Neverland is not a nice place, was originally going to be Disrupt the Perfect Family. Producer Bob Rock wanted it to be more meaningful and accessible, and Hetfield agreed to change the lyrics. This was an awesome song to start the album with, and it really gets you pumped. This next one is Sad But True, and it was also released as a single. Instrumentation. Again, in this one, there are some killer guitar riffs, and they're very aggressive. The drums in this one are also very aggressive, too. This song is mostly about inner conflicts going on inside you. James Hetfield was inspired to write this song by an old movie called Magic, which is about a ventriloquist who is being controlled by an evil puppet. Another thing, while they were recording this album, Hammett, Ulrich, and Newsted were all going through divorces, and they were able to channel their inner thoughts through their music. This is another great song on the album. Up next is Holier Than Thou, and this is a very fast-paced song. Instrumentation. The killer guitar riffs continue in this one, and they give off great energy, making you want to rock out. The drums can also be heard in the background. The theme here is people in the music industry always looking for the mistakes that others make. Bob Rock thought this song was going to be a single, but as they were going on with the album, they realized that wouldn't be right. And the band still teases him about this to this day. This is another great song on the album. Now we get to The Unforgiven, which was also released as a single, and Kirk Hammett also helped write this one. Things slow down here. The band wanted to try something new, where they have a heavy verse and a soft chorus, something that is very rare in heavy metal and hard rock. And it blew me away. Instrumentation. The guitars are really awesome in this one, and they're very heavy during the verse. When we get to the chorus and things get softer, the acoustic guitars are also really awesome. You can also hear the drums a bit in the background in this one as well. The song is mainly about hardships and how you're not able to escape them. James Hetfield, during his childhood and teen years, faced some very tough hardships. His dad abandoned the family when he was 13, and his mother died 3 years later of cancer. This was another really good song on the album. Now, we get to Wherever I May Roam, which was also released as a single. Things go back to the same energy they had in the first 3 songs with this one. Instrumentation. This one has some awesome guitar riffs and a really cool solo, and they'll make you want to rock out. The drums can also be heard in the background. The theme of this song is life while traveling. Metallica loved to tour, but it could also wear them out. While they were on tour once, Kirk Hammett could be quoted saying he bought a house that he had yet to see. This is another killer track on the album. Now we get to Don't Tread on Me. The same energy from the last song continues in this one. Instrumentation. This one also has some awesome and aggressive guitar riffs. The drums are also really awesome in this one too. Most people thought that this song was in favor of war, and they thought Metallica was the opposite. James Hetfield said they weren't on any side and all they were doing was writing music, and this song was just sending a message, don't mess with us. This was another awesome song on the album. This next song is called Through the Never, and Kirk Hammett also helped write this song. The energy from the last two songs continues in this one. Instrumentation. This one also has some awesome guitar riffs in it that make you want to rock out. The drums can also be heard in the background too. The theme of this song is humanity trying to learn whatever it can about what's out there, and how we're just a small fragment of it. This is another awesome song on the album. This next one, Nothing Else Matters, was also released as a single. Things slow down here in this one, and it has a softer verse and a harder chorus, like the inverse of The Unforgiven. Instrumentation. The main focus here is on the guitars, starting with the acoustic intro that lasts for about a minute. Then after that, the drums come in and they're heard in the background during the first verse. Then, when things get harder in the chorus, the lead guitar comes in, and it's awesome! At one point in 1990, while they were on tour, James Hetfield was feeling down about being away from home for so long that he wrote this song for himself. However, Lars Ulrich heard this song and really liked it, and then it was considered for the album and eventually made it in. This song was originally about a past love of Hetfield's, but now the band says that it's about their fans and nothing is more important to them than their fans. This is also one of the only songs where James Hetfield does the guitar solo and not Kirk Hammett. This was another awesome song on the album. Now we get to my favorite song on the album, and Kirk Hammett helped write it. It's called Of Wolf and Man. The energy comes back in this one. Instrumentation. The guitars in this one are absolutely amazing, and they really make you want to rock out. The drums can also be heard in the background. When James Hetfield wrote this one, producer Bob Rock thought he was crazy writing a song about a wolf, but after he listened to it, he realized he was wrong. While this song is definitely about werewolves and the changes they go through, there is also a deeper meaning in this one too, as there are two sides of humanity, wild and tame. The wild side represents the wolf, and the tame side represents the man. This was a phenomenal song on the album! This next song is called The God That Failed, and it's also very up-tempo. Instrumentation. This one starts off with a cool bass intro, and then the guitars come in and your head will be banging. The drums can also be heard in this one as well. As I mentioned before, James Hetfield was 16 when his mother died of cancer after refusing treatment, saying God would save her. Ever since then, he blames God for whenever he feels the meaninglessness of life. This is another great song on the album. Now we get to My Friend of Misery, and Jason Newsted also helped write this song. The energy continues in this one. Instrumentation. This one has some great guitar riffs and a killer solo. You can hear the drums in the background of this one as well. The theme of this song is about only seeing the negative aspects of the world. While writing this song, Jason Newsted introduced a riff to the rest of the band, and it was built up from there. Another awesome song on the album. The energy is still here during this final song on the album, The Struggle Within. Instrumentation. This one starts off with a marching beat and then goes straight into some awesome guitar riffs. You can also still hear the drums when the guitars come in. This song was written on their last day in the studio, and James Hetfield was having trouble coming up with the lyrics. Hetfield dealt with a lot of anger in this life, and he had a hard time dealing with it. This is another amazing song on the album, and the album really ends on a bang! So what did I like about this album? The songs were all very well written, and James Hetfield does an amazing job on the vocals. Him and the rest of the band also really deliver on the instrumentation, and the guitar riffs are awesome! A lot of the songs make me want to go into full headbang mode. They also ordered the songs perfectly. I really can't say there was anything I disliked about this album. To conclude this, I will say that you should definitely go listen to Metallica's self-titled album, or the Black Album. You will love it. Well, that's the end of this review. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, rock on!